everybody. This is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm here with the Indie Comic Relay recommendations for June Indie Comics. Awesome. Before we get into that, I just want to remind everybody that Plastic City Comic Con is happening August 19th, 2023. We are the biggest show for the lowest admission price in New England and probably most places. $10 to get in. We have over 250 tables. We have comics, we have writers, we have artists, we have crafters, we have comic retailers. I mean, just look at this guest list. We got, Ron Rudat, the designer for G.I. Joe from Hasbro. I mean, just look at the names here of all the great creators we have. And this is a list of all the artists, writers, vendors that we have, and just goes on and on and on and on and on. So $10, kids 12 and under for free, $10 admission, free parking. You guys can't beat that. So Plastic City Comic Con coming August 19th, one-day show, Saturday. And we're in a new location, Game On Sports Complex. So check it out. If you're in Massachusetts and you love comics, you got to come to our show. All right. So now that we got the promos out of the way, we can go into the June recommendations. So I started this bit maybe, 6-7 months ago. And basically it's, I go through the, I order my stuff, my comics usually from DCBS. And so every month I go through the previews guide and I put together my comics that I'm going to order. And, most of my comics now tend to be indies, very little from Marvel or DC. But while I'm doing the list, I grab a few things that I thought looked cool, and I'd love to recommend them to you guys. And the recommendations, not necessarily everything in previews, but few things that caught my eye, and mostly few things that I plan on ordering or getting at some point. Sometimes I won't buy the floppy. Sometimes I'll get it as a graphic novel, things like that. But this month was a little low. I only found 5 things that I'm going to be getting, but I figured I'd recommend them to you. All right, so let's get started. All right, so first one here is The Ambassadors. This is a graphic novel. This is the collected edition of Mark Millar's Ambassadors. Now, I planned on getting this, and I might have recommended this in an earlier video. I planned on getting number 1, but I missed it. And so now I got to get the graphic novel because I've been hearing this is great. So the concept here was that, they had to, choose 6 different people in the world to receive superpowers. And each issue of the 6-issue series is about one of the people that's getting the superpowers. And also to add to the uniqueness is there's a different artist for every issue, which is kind of interesting. And Mark Millar only works with the top tier talent. So, like all the art in this is going to be great. I know some of them are Travis Charest, Oliver Copiel, Frank Quitely, so many good ones here. So yeah, I'm excited to read this. And I'm also, like, last month he had the first big Millar World crossover, Big Game. So I think, I want to read this before I read Big Game, because I imagine some of these people are probably going to show up there as well. But yeah, I really like Millar. Mark Millar is probably one of the top creators working today, and I really love his Millar World stuff. I just finally got my hands on Nemesis Reloaded, so I read the first 2. I love that. That's been great. So yeah, I'm all in. I think this is going to be really good stuff. So check that out. So Ambassadors, if you want to order the graphic novel, you just have to give this diamond code to your retailer, and they will order it for you. If it's a good store, they'll order it for you. And Millar's big enough that they may even just carry this normally. But if you don't want to miss it, grab this code, and give it to them. All right, so that's our first one. The second one here is Plot Holes by Sean Gordon Murphy. Now, I've already read this series. I backed Sean Gordon Murphy did a Indiegogo, and I believe he did a Kickstarter too, for this about 2 years ago. And when I got it, it was like in graphic novel form. So it looks like this is going to be actually the mini series. So he breaks the graphic novel down to the 5-issue mini series. And when I read the graphic novel, like it definitely had chapter breaks. So it looked like that what might have been the plan all along, is to eventually release this. Now this company that's putting it out, Massive, I don't know if that's its own thing or if that's just Sean Gordon Murphy's imprint. It could be, I don't know, but this is really cool. It's all like characters that are they're like storybook kind of, not tropes, but like archetypes, kind of like with my Mighty Mascots comics, how all my Mighty Mascots characters are archetypes of, famous serial mascots. These guys are archetypes of, famous story kind of characters. Like there's like one that's like a Calvin and Hobbes kid. There's like this tiger guy who's like from a barbarian book, things like that. And they go in and they fix plot holes. Basically, it's interesting. It's hard to explain, but as you're reading it, it makes total sense. Like, so it was really good. And if you like Sean Gordon Murphy, I mean, he's tops right now at DC with the Batman White Knight stuff. You'll love this, because I thought this was really good. And you can always tell when a creator does their own creator-owned stuff, that there's just a lot of love put into it, and a lot of care and detail, and that's in spades with this from Sean Gordon Murphy. So he did everything on it, as far as I know, like artwork, inking, writing, everything. So this is totally him. So yeah, check it out. I'd say it's worthwhile, and hopefully maybe down the road we'll get another mini series. So this one is definitely worth putting on your list. So if you want to order Plot Holes, this is the diamond code that you would give your retailer, and tell them you want Sean Gordon Murphy's Plot Holes. All right. On to the next one. This one is called the Enfield Gang Massacre. This is from Image Comics. If this kind of looks familiar to you, it's Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips, who were the creators on a comic from Image called That Texas Blood. Now, I reviewed That Texas Blood a while ago. I think very right early days of this channel, I reviewed #1, and I remember at the time I was very lukewarm on it. But I've since started really loving the book. I think it really kind of comes alive when you read a few of them in a row, and it's because it's got a slow build, but it's really, really good stuff, and it just kind of plays on the weirdness of like Texas, and like it's got kind of like that Tarantino kind of feel, but like with the weirdness of like Texas. And this is a mini series that ties into That Texas Blood. But it's set in the past, and it looks like it's a 6-issue series, which is kind of good. They actually listed here for once. Diamond is horrible at listing like whether something's a mini or an ongoing, but they have a previews here, and it's only 1 page really, but it looks kind of cool. It's like one of those old timey kind of posters or something, from the Wild West. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the whole series, and then probably just read it all together in one shot. I love this cover though. It looks like one of those old pulp novels, So yeah, congrats. This looks great, Chris and Jacob. So I can't wait. And if Jacob Phillips, if you guys didn't know, is the son of Sean Phillips, who works closely with Ed Brubaker on a ton of projects, used to do artwork for like Hellblazer and things like that. So art runs in that family, man. Both of them are great. So yeah, so if you're interested in the Enfield Gang Massacre, you want to give this diamond code to your retailer and tell them you want the whole mini series. Have them order the whole thing for you. Hell, set up a pull box and let them order it for you. All right, so on to #4 is Fire and Ice by Dynamite Comics. Now, this is a mini series, I believe, as well. Usually most Dynamite stuff is. They won't say it though, so I'm gonna guess this is about a 6 issue. But it's a prequel to the hit film Fire and Ice from back in the 80s. I remember I saw it a long time ago, and I really loved the animated movie. I'm gonna have to track it down before I get this comic series. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. They haven't done anything with this property, or even with the Death Dealer character that was Frank Frazetta's big character. Um, it's also written by Bill Willingham, who did the phenomenal run on Fables for DC Vertigo. He also did a great Vertigo series called Proposition Player that I really love. So I'm a big fan of Bill's writing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and I think it's going to be interesting to see this. And the artist is Leonardo Manco from that, from Marvel fame. So this is going to be pretty cool book, So especially if you have seen the Fire and Ice movie, so I recommend checking out both. Check out the movie and then pick this up and support indie books. So Dynamite Comics. So if you're interested in ordering this, that there is the diamond code that I just highlighted. Give that to your store and tell them you want Fire and Ice, and tell them ICR sent you. All right. So on to our final book from June recommendations is Local Man Gold. Now, Local Man is I believe it's an ongoing series from Image, and I reviewed the first issue, I don't know, maybe about a month ago on the channel, and it's currently my favorite book coming out right now. It's written by Tony Fleeks and Tim Seeley, and I believe they both do the art on it as well. And it's the thought behind this book is it's a love letter to Image, to 90s Image, basically, but done in like a modern sense. The main guy is a disgraced hero from like a Young Bloods type team, and he has to go back to his hometown. And they keep alluding to the fact that he did something that, you know, people frowned upon, because everyone's recognizing him and, shouting obscenities at him and things like that. But there's also a murder going on. Someone murdered like one of his arch enemies. So he's forbidden from ever putting the uniform on again, but he's also trying to help out and try to solve the murder, and also try to reconnect with his old family and past and everything. It's a really well done series. And the cool thing about it is on the backside, there's a flip book. So there's like, 5 or 6 pages on the backstory that show, back when Jack was back in the team, and it's done like a 90s Image book. So this is a lot of fun, and I highly recommend it. Like I said, it's my favorite thing I'm reading right now. And this is cool because it looks like they're emulating the old Image Valiant crossover from like the 90s, just with this cover and everything. So, and this is a one shot, and from what they said, it's a perfect jumping on point. So if you missed, I think there's about 4 or 5 issues out now of Local Man. So if you missed those, you can jump on here and kind of, get a good jumping on point. But I recommend tracking those down, or even getting the eventual trade paperback that'll be out for this. And yeah, so these guys are killing it on this book. If you're looking for a cool superhero book with like kind of an interesting take, but also has like that fun or that nostalgia feel that you like, check out Local Man. So all right, everybody, that's it for the June recommendations. Yeah, it's, usually I have about 7 or 8 books, but this month it was only about 5, and I'm fine with that. Sometimes it hurts the wallet, a lot of good stuff. So check it out, and ask your store for this stuff, or even go to Previews World. It looks like they have they have a pull box thing, but I don't know how that actually works, but I'm sure you can look into it. There's also you can search for comic book stores on there. There's a comic shop locator, so if you want to find a comic shop near you, that's a way to go. All right, everybody. Well, have a great week. Thank you for tuning into the channel. Like, subscribe, hit the bell for notification, and most importantly, read some comics. All right, everybody. Have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Bye.